Good afternoon, everyone. Buried flocks in Russia, buried cars in Iceland, volcanoes through the blizzard in Italy, in France, Austria. And it's just a sign of the times. Diametrically global warming, global cooling, mini ice age. Don't worry, your crops, you can just buy it from the store. Winter Storm Diego, North Carolina, South Carolina, snow angels. Oh, and wrecked snow plows. Virginia, almost a foot. Oh, and don't forget about Texas, winter storm also. And during these uncertain times, I've teamed up with My Patriot Supply long-term food storage. A nice, affordable starter kit. 2-week food supply, 1,500 calories per day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinners, plus the 4-gallon storage containers included in that. This is a good first step in getting more self-sufficient. And if you click through the Prepare with Adapt 2030 page in My Patriot Supply, you can get this starter kit for $75. Please remember there's a limit of 2 per household in this special offer. Winter Storm Diego. Not up near the border with Canada, not in the northeast U.S., but this one is entirely southeast U.S. all the way from Texas over to the Carolinas, including Georgia, no less. Nobody wants to talk about the intensifying grand solar minimum or forecast to go into low solar activity. Even NASA, European Space Agency, astrophysicists, across the board, they're talking about lower solar activity. Yet nobody wants to put 2 and 2 together. This was the original NASA study done about the drop in global temperatures during the last time we had prolonged decreased solar activity. The temperature variance is different, but with the newest reconstructions and thousands of databases put together, almost 1.5 degrees Celsius drop, and the exact same thing shows up. Notice where the dark blue is over North America. That's where it became colder and snowier during these prolonged sunspot minimums. Notice the orange, that's where it got warmer. Other parts of North America cooled, other parts of North America warmed. See any similarity in today's news? Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina gets a full year's worth of snowfall in this single event. An enormous amount of people covering the story. I just want to bring you the highlights here and roll over into Europe and Russia where blizzards raging as well, but not much media coverage on it. 919 drone. Jumping up and doing full videos off the drone's snow cover, Raleigh-Durham. Drifting snow and multiple hundreds of thousands of people without power. You would just not expect to see this type of drift. North Carolina? You know, when I'm looking at these images and I'm seeing the names of the places I know across the southeast U.S. I've driven through there. I know people there. Doesn't fit. Winter Wonderland. Not even officially the beginning of winter yet. December 21st is around the corner with the solstice, but thought we were in the warmest year ever. Gore told us our kids would never know what snow was. Well, they sure do down in the southeast U.S., still in autumn. Now, this is off the European model. Notice that the snowfall totals didn't reach exactly that high. What had happened was the snow that would have turned into those inches of snows instead morphed into sleet and icy rain. This is the reason for a lot of power lines down, a lot of road closures, auto accidents, etc. It's a lot of ice coming down inside this storm. Take a look at the snow reports. 18.5 inches in North Carolina. West Virginia over a foot. South Carolina almost a foot. Another 3. I'm going to go down there and sprinkle that extra 0.3 of an inch on there just to get it over a foot. Now, talking about being in the city with snow-covered roads is one thing, but when you're talking about I-40, one of the largest, most traveled interstates in the United States, covered in snow like this, before winter in North Carolina, this looks like a blizzard in Buffalo that you would experience somewhere in the middle of January, not the southeast U.S. The signs are all around us. It's this grand solar minimums intensifying. Mainstream media is going out of their way to try to deflect everything, although in the next breath they're admitting that the solar physicists are saying, hey, we're going into prolonged solar declines and lack of activity that we haven't seen in hundreds of years. But don't worry about it. All these things that you're seeing right here, those are just normal. South Carolina is actually one of my favorite images that I found here in the entire rundown. This is not somewhere in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. South Carolina in autumn still, late autumn. It's not even winter officially yet. Why can't we debate if it's solar activity or if it's CO2? Regardless of what's happening, your food supply is at risk along with mine. And nobody's doing a thing about it to talk about mitigating crop zones, thinking about replacement crops. Where are we going to get our food supply from if we just can't grow it due to this shifting weather? This is changing climate. This is what we should be talking about. You got snowplows here in South Carolina. This is a nice little gingerly fluffy photo that they put in. Oh, it's a little bit of snow, but when you have these images of snowplows themselves falling over due to slick roads and icy conditions, and it just continues. Deep snows. Greenville, this is not normal. Oh, Virginia, snow close to the record for all-time broken snowfall totals ever. Richmond, Virginia. Somebody stuck a ruler in the ground. This is unofficial, though. Somebody just went in their backyard and plunked the ruler down. So it's very close to what the records that you saw in the official stations were, though. Patrick County. But everywhere you look, it's a winter wonderland. Texas as well. This storm extended all the way over to Texas. It wasn't just this localized area in the Carolinas and a little bit over in Tennessee and a little bit down into Georgia. It extended all the way through Arkansas, clear over to Texas. And take a look at the road conditions a couple days ago as this storm progressed eastward. But you're never going to see these heavy blizzards over in France that are raging right now. I thought I'd bring it to your attention. 80 centimeters for those of you in the U.S. is almost 3 feet. I'll show you the depths right here. That was part of that extratropical hurricane category 2 remnant reform that slammed over the UK and came rolling back in on itself. Over Europe over the last couple of days. Here's a look at Austria as well. Even the media over there is reporting how rare this depth of snow is for this early, but they do cite that that cyclonic low that came spinning off the Atlantic is the cause of this. Smash against the warm air mass, they probably wouldn't have had this much snow. But tracking back a few days where that same system did pass, Iceland, yeah, those kind of humps there, those are cars under there. Smashed the snow records for Iceland as well. Bet you didn't hear about that in the media too much, did you? All-time record snowfalls in Iceland broken during this last storm. Same storm that's crushing Europe right now. Volcanic activity, Sicily. Interesting view of the fire and ice, literally. And the headline says it all. Meanwhile, in Russia, but it is so far below normal. It's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit below the normal there now. Massive winter storm burying herds. So all the entire herd is over there trying to hunker down in the storm. And just a sign of the times, truly. This pretty much sums up our entire world's political and climate situation at the moment. This is taken from France. Global carbon tax is dead on arrival. It's not going to ever happen again. They misphrased it. In the French reasoning for fuel price taxes, that was literally the last straw. If you wanted to know what a straw that broke the camel's back example would have been, you just witnessed it over in France. But instead of really talking about the decline in solar activity, now those lines, you see the colored lines here, those are magnetic fields, the north magnetic field, southern magnetic field. Magnetic fields on the sun, the wider they split, the more incredible, out of season, chaotic weather we're going to get. And you know where we are right now? We're right where that yellow moves into the green. And notice how wide that wave splits. And then ask yourself, is it really CO2 or is this forecastable solar science moving out? Because what you're witnessing is actually down to the month showing you where the excessive, chaotic weather is going to begin. And we have been seeing it for the last month and a half at least across the planet. And here it is for you in front of your eyes. This is your timeline going out. By the 2021, everything you buy is going to be more expensive for your food prices, if it's even available. And you have to ask yourself, what will the repercussions be on the economy of the world if people are paying triple for their food? What are they going to divert their spending from first, second, and third? And you might get a good indication of where the economy is heading. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. If you like this type of commentary, 30 minutes at a time on the go, Mini Ice Age Conversations podcast. Tri-weekly, anywhere podcasts are hosted across the net. And please remember to subscribe to the channel. You're going to have to click the bell and subscribe and then click the bell again because, well, in today's world, when you talk about CO2 not being the main thing pushing the climate, you might even have to resubscribe again. And we'll leave it at that.